All right, so let's talk about thinking. This comes from the Experiential Marketing textbook by Bernd Schmidt. This is chapter 6. Of course, I have a little quote here from the song Think by Aretha Franklin, right? You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Think. Let your mind go, let yourself be free. Thinking is all about the mental stimulation, creativity, problem solving, thinking, and processing information into short-term and long-term memory. It's not an experience unless it's remembered, and thinking is how we process that experience into a memory. That's why it's so important. Thinking is all about engaging one's mind. Thinking is the most engaging experiential activity there is. Engagement requires thinking. Of course, thinking is the easiest way to allow the customer to personalize the experience and change it every time they experience it. It's like reading a book. Every time you read a book, it changes the experience changes because you think of other things as you read the book. Thinking involves the cerebral manipulation of information, as when we form concepts, engage in problem solving, etc. Thought and thinking are mental forms and processes, respectively. Thinking allows beings to model the world and deal with it effectively according to their current perceptions. Words and processes are the ways that a person takes what they experience and internalizes it and remembers it. Some of the thinking processes are observation, analysis, interpretation, reflection, evaluation, inferences, explanations, problem solving, and of course, decision making. Think about your experience at at some sort of a scavenger hunt. So, what are typical thinking experiential goods and services? Well, obviously, a book, a TV show, a movie, other things like crossword puzzles. Almost everything is thinking. When I watch golf on television, it's a thinking event for me because I'm trying to think, how would I do that? How is that golf? What is that golfer thinking about? What's their strategy? What are they going to do next? How are they going to handle that? So, successful thinking experiences include surprise, intrigue, and provocation. Surprise is something unexpected. Intrigue is the arousal or the curiosity or interest, and it is something that it fascinates you. And of course, we want experiences to have some level of intrigue or interest or curiosity for the individual. Why did that happen? Well, what if that happens? Provocation, of course, is a stimulant or gives rise to a reaction or emotion in someone. So what does that? So I see this experience. Things like, for instance, one of my favorite examples is going to the Vietnam War Memorial. What emotions, what feelings does that elicit? What does that provoke in me as an individual? It's different for every single person. That makes it an interesting and more a more fully depth experience. Of course, thinking requires concentration and attention. Creative thinking, of course, you're all familiar with creative thinking. It's the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. We talk about critical thinking all the time in education. We need you to think critically. And of course, what we really mean is to get you to think in a logical way and to come to conclusions by analyzing and synthesizing information. Think. This is the most critical aspect of designing experiences. What are people going to think when they interact with the experience?